Hello, everyone. Hi, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon to everyone watching us right now. Welcome. I can see a lot of participants coming in. Let's just wait for a few more minutes. It's good to have you all today. All right. Okay, let me just introduce myself. By the way, I'm one of the hosts for today. My name is MJ Ordoña. I'm an edtech specialist for CYPHER Learning based here in Australia, and I'm actually glad that you are here joining us today right now. And of course, with me, another co-host is PP Zakaria, and PP will be introducing herself. PP, go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much, MJ. And so excited to see the attendees start coming in the Zoom room. I'd like to introduce myself again also. My name is Pipi Zakaria. I'm one of the EdTech director based in Indonesia. And maybe we will wait for a few more minutes
Yes, sure.
before we start the webinar.
Okay, all right. Are you excited, PP?
Yes, actually, yes. Because the latest enhancement is really, really good. And it will be good that lots of people aware of this and can utilize it to the fullest.
Yes, that's right. And while checking the product updates, there are like some of them that has been on my top favorite list
Mhm.
already. So later on, we'll show it to you. Okay. So I think we can start.
Yes, I think.
All right, we're really so excited to share with you the latest enhancement, of our portal, focusing on the improving usability and usefulness of our LMS. So let me just share another screen before we start, just to set your expectation. I'll show you the agenda of our webinar for today. So very straightforward. It's all about product updates. So the first part, we will be discussing a little bit more about an overview of what happened from last quarter's product update, just to give you like a gist of the background of the product update from last quarter. And then we will proceed with the other updates that we have. So basically, that's going to be, excuse me. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes, we can hear you, MJ.
All right. So basically, it's focusing on late March to mid-May product update. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. And to start off, I'll pass on again to PP to discuss the overview of our product update.
Okay.
Quarter 1 product update, sorry.
Yes. Yeah. It will be just a brief before we go into the latest enhancement, because we're already in the second quarter of 2022 now. So what I'm going to mention is just a brief of highlight of some of the updates that we already have in the first quarter of 2022. Okay, I have 3 points here, 3 highlights. First is all the matrix sites have now been upgraded to the new dashboard design. So if you already use that new dashboard design and already play with all the customization, it will be great. It includes a customizable welcome widget and also the course widget, where you can find all the courses that you teach, the courses that you enroll to and you already completed, all in the graphical tiles view. And you can also find another widget which is fully customizable. You can use the dashboard builder using the drag and drop. It will be nice. And then the second features is we have improvement to our organization page. It is now simpler, especially for administrator here. If you are an administrator in your portal, you will now see organization configuration menu in one page. So it will be easier for you to manage your users and also your courses in organization. And then the third highlight will be upon creating a new section in your modules, now have options to also add a single resource, such as videos, website, or also document. So it will make content creation experience easier. And also, especially this is for instructor and administrator, you can now find resource as a section to be added in your section modules. So you can check that out in our platform already. And if you would like to know more details on this product update that we have in our on the first quarter of 2022, you can also check the videos of our previous product update webinar hosting by our AppTech also. You can check that on our YouTube channel, official YouTube channel. And I think that's all the brief or just a quick highlight of what we already have in the first quarter of 2022. So now I'm excited to show you the latest platform enhancement. And here I pass the microphone back to MJ to show you how it looks and also how it works. So please, MJ, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, VP. And again, thank you for that very brief overview of the product updates for quarter 1. And just like what VP said, you can always visit our YouTube channel, Matrix Space LMS, and our colleague Vanessa Douther did a really great job of showing or demonstrating all the quarter 1 product updates. So without further ado, let's proceed with quarter 2 product updates. So I'll be sharing a different screen. Let me just share my portal screen. Hold on. Okay. All right. One more time. All right. I hope everybody can see it. If you can see my screen. All right. So basically for quarter 2 product updates, we focus on simplifying various aspects of our platform and the way that we navigate it. And that's what we're going to show you. So to start off, this one is very simple. I would say this is just like an FYI for everybody because we are already familiar with this one. So if you are utilizing our built-in messaging feature, we just recently added the reply to all functionality. So say, for example, you receive a message. We all know how it works, very straightforward. If you receive a group messages or with several recipients on the to and the CC field, you now have the option for you to use the option reply to all. So that's one of the enhancement that we recently have. I think that was last week of March that has been released. Again, just like an FYI, because we're all familiar with how it works, very straightforward, a little bit of an enhancement, but still very useful, especially if you're communicating with your learners, peers, and other colleagues within the platform. So that's one thing. You don't need to type their names one by one. So that's one of the product update that we currently have. And the next one I'm going to show you is actually more of very useful update for our LMS administrator who's currently with us right now, because this is for the LMS ID. So if you're utilizing the use of LMS ID, for some of you, you already know where it is. For those of you who are not aware what is an LMS ID, it's actually like a unique identifier that is being used for like our courses, our user accounts, and groups, and many more. So it's a unique identifier auto-generated by our system. So let me just show you where it is. So I'll open one course in here. Say, for example, in this course, before, which is also right now, you can see from the URL, the LMS ID is on the end of the URL itself of this particular course. Now, to make it simpler, we put it or added it on the right panel. If you focus here on the right-hand side, you'll see the LMS ID is much more simply visible and easier to find on the right panel here. And there's an icon that looks like a burger in there. It looks like a burger to me. All right. So that's the LMS ID update. So for LMS administrator, usually you are using this for, like, say for example, updating in bulk. You usually use the LMS ID so that you'd have a unique identifier if in case there are courses or there are names that are the same within the platform. This one will be the identifier for each of them that has the same name. So aside from that, you can also use it when generating report So speaking of report, one other update that we have within the report itself is going to be an additional data that you can pull in, and it's going to be the job title. So let me just go to our reports functionality here on the left-hand side. So say, for example, I'm going to add a test report. So this is a custom report. And I'll select users. So we've added an additional data that's quite important for some organizations and businesses. All right, so I'll go to columns. As you can see, we have an extensive data or parameters that you can pull up, and one of the addition is the job title. So if you are utilizing custom reporting and job title is something that you're looking into generating as part of the report analysis, then you can actually add it now. So that's one of a little bit of changes that we've added as one of the data within the report functionality of Matrix. So very straightforward. We're still and just a little tiny bit of enhancement. We do have a lot of enhancement going on. So for this quarter, we have small enhancement, and then we also have some significant ones, but equally important for us to have a seamless user experience within Matrix. All right, so going back here on the dashboard, so what we're gonna do right now is to show you another enhancement. And again, this is a treat for those of you utilizing the organization feature. Just like PP mentioned earlier, we did a little bit of ramp up with we revamped our organization actually. And aside from that, early this April, we've added a simplified version on how you can actually delete an organization. So for LMS administrator right now, if you're utilizing the organization feature, you know that you cannot delete an organization right away. So let me just show you some list of sample organization for our portal here. This is our training portal. So some of them are just dummy organizations. So say, for example, you wanted to delete an organization. Previously, you select and click delete, but if there are like items associated like learners, instructors, or groups and courses associated with the organization, it will not allow you to delete. So you have to go and bulk move them per users, bulk move them to a different organization, or for the courses, you bulk move them to a separate organization as well. So what we did was we simplified that as well. So you might hear me saying a lot of simplification, because that's like the focus of Q2 product update. So basically what we did now is, let me show you. When I click on delete and say, yes, okay, I will give you a page where it shows you the summary of what are the items under that organization. And what's good about this update as well is you don't really need to move the courses or the users per batch in different organizations, because we've added this particular drop down with the other list of organizations that you currently have. And then you can just click and select which organization you would like to move the particular users, courses, groups, or learning path. And then once you have selected that, you also have the option to move them to just one specific organization in bulk from here. So you don't need to use the CSV file and move them around or one by one using the courses, moving them from one organization to other. So once selecting all of that, you can just click on try again. And what will happen is the system will move those items to your organization of choice, and then it will delete the organization that you would like to remove. So it's really good, especially if you're housekeeping your organization. I don't know with others, but we do have some clients who are really into organization, and they have lots of organizations in their portal. And in case you need some housekeeping, it's easier to use this particular option now, so that you don't have, there's not much time consuming anymore in going to user accounts and then moving them to an organization. Same with courses and paths. It's all here in this particular page. So it's quite time efficient as well. All right, so I'll just go back to home. So that's one update from our organization, aside from what PP mentioned. And now again, with the administrator, the admin catalog has been updated as well. So that will be here, admin, and then catalog. I'll show you. Once I click it, you will know right away that there's a change, especially those admins here who keeps on changing or configuring their catalog or the way that the catalog will be administered. All right, as you can see in here, this is the new look of the admin catalog. So if you can remember before, it looks really different because it's a multi-catalog mode. So basically we have here the tab here previously is called catalog and the other tab is called settings. So basically during that time, even if you only are utilizing one particular catalog, which is your default catalog, it shows you that. So it has the name of your catalog or the name of your portal. And then on the opposite side, you have there like a gear icon where you can change the categories from. So what we did was to simplify it again, because I know most of you are just utilizing, or most common case or most common scenario is that you're just using your own business catalog. So it's easier if you can go directly to the course admin catalog and change the particular options and categories easily in just one page. So let me show you, just in case you are gonna use a third-party content creator or third-party content provider, then the multi-catalog mode will be the default view for your admin/catalog overview. So that's what we're gonna show you in a different portal. Let me just quickly go from here. See, as you can see, remember, I'll just move this away. So this is what it looks like before. If you can remember previously, our course catalog settings looks like this way. But now this particular view is only visible if you are utilizing a third-party catalog like LinkedIn Learning or Go1. All right, so this is how it looks like. But for those of you who are just using the most common settings, which is just using your own portal catalog, it will be this one here. So easy to navigate. You just have 2 tabs and everything is on that particular page already. All right. Okay. So moving on, I'll just go back to the dashboard again. So this next update is just like what I've mentioned to PP. I've had like some favorites already while I was reviewing the update. So this is one of my favorite update. I think for some of you who are utilizing awarding a certificate, this is a treat as well, because we have added an option that is quite useful when you award a certificate, and that will be called the number, where you can add your own credential, certificate number, or serial number, whatever you call it. So let me just show you. I'll click on add. And then I'll go to certificate. All right, so as you can see from the pop out here, this is the additional option that has been added when you are like editing or creating a new certificate for your business. So what I like about it is it gives you like, again, like an identifier of your business, that you are the one who have actually issued that particular certificate. So it's a credential certificate that you issue, because you can actually type in like your own certificate number from here, or you can leave it blank as well if you want the system, excuse me, to generate its own certificate number. So you can leave it blank. That's one of the options. If you leave it blank, it will auto-generate a series of number that is unique for that particular certificate, and it's going to be in sequence. Now, if you don't leave it blank, that will be the one that will automatically be added on the certificate. Now, so that you can see what I'm referring to, let me just show you a sample certificate that I've created. All right, just give me time to drink, please. Okay, thank you. All right, so this is a sample certificate that I'm referring to. So this is the issue date and the name of the person, and also the course that they have completed are the one that we have for a while now. But what we have added is the award number object file. It's here. So in case you have uploaded a PDF certificate that has an award number on it, an object file that's called award number, then this particular this particular option in here will be activated. So if you leave it blank, then there will be a series of numbers that will be auto-generated by the system, and that will be your certificate serial number now. But if you don't leave it blank, it will automatically add it here the way that you typed it in this box. Now, one thing that I really like is the combination of the two. So basically, say, for example, I work for CYPHER Learning, so I want a little bit of a branding of my initials there and the certificate serial number. So I'll put CL, and then the secret is the %D. So the percent sign and then the letter D will indicate that after the CL letters, the rest of the number will be auto-generated by the system and in sequence. So say, for example, it's going to be like CL 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the next awarding of the certificate, the serial number will be CL 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, something like that, and so on and so forth. So I'll give you a demonstration on how it works. So let me just put here test cert. I hope I'm not talking too fast. All right. Sorry, you can leave your questions in the Q&A box while I'm discussing, and later on we can address them one by one. All right, so this is the format that I'm gonna use. I'm gonna save it on my personal library for now, since this is just for a demonstration. I'll click on save. All right, now I'll click on upload certificate and add a certificate. All right, I'll just drag and drop my sample certificate in here. And then click upload. Okay, now I'm ready to award this certificate. So what I'm gonna do is just go to one of the courses and choose one learner. Just for this demo, I'm gonna manually award it. So I'll go here in the sample course and then look for a learner. And let's give an award to Chris Hemsworth. And click award. So I'll select certificate in here and then test cert. I think that's the one that we have created, test, and then I'll click save. Okay, so Chris has been awarded with one certificate, and let's see what it looks like. So this is a printable certificate. So I'll click on the PDF file and let's see if it's a success, hopefully, crossing my fingers. All right, there you go. Just like what I've mentioned earlier. So I wanted it to have a little bit of a branding with the company that I've worked for. So it's CL and then a series of number that has been auto-generated by our system. So the next certificate that I'm going to issue will be ending with 52 because it's going to go directly in sequence, if you know what I mean. So that's one example of the certificate using the serial number, or you can change it to credential number or just award number, whatever terminology you are using within your business. So that's one of the update. I think one of a significant update that we have for Q2. So going back to home. All right. I think it's not just me who have that favorite on my favorite list. As you can see, for those of you who's always into like taking some short courses, you are familiar with those serial number or certificate numbers as well. So that's really very useful for your organization, if you know what I mean. Okay, now one other thing, I think this is also on my favorite list, is we have revamped our App Center. So I'll click on the App Center in here. So there you go. You can easily see the difference because if you're always visiting our App Center, you would know that it is in one page. There's a long list of all the apps that we actually integrate with or apps that we can use within the platform. So now we have simplified it and made it into group of categories, which is very helpful. Say, for example, before we already have the search button before, but what is really cool about this is that we have added categories. So say, for example, you're thinking of ramping up your portal, but you don't know what are the apps that you want to add, but you know you wanted something about assessment, but you don't know which one to add because before you have to type like the name of the app for you to search. But what if you don't know what are the apps available? So this guide in here, the categories, is really helpful because say, for example, I'm just thinking of adding something for e-commerce, then you can just select e-commerce and automatically snap, there it is. You will see right away what are the available apps for e-commerce. And say, for example, not just e-commerce, I also want to maybe see what are the available apps for collaboration. So just click on collaboration. All the collaboration apps and tools will be there right in front of you. You don't have to scroll down and you don't have to like think what are the sample collaboration tools that you're going to search for. So it's really easy and manageable. And as you can see, if you're an administrator, it's easy to navigate and utilize based on like narrowing what you really are looking for in terms of the available apps that we currently have. So that's one good thing. That's why I also put this particular update in my favorite list. Okay, so by the way, speaking of the App Center, just recently, so like fresh from the open, we are now integrated with Coursera. So since let me just see if it's in the third-party content now. There you go. So Coursera is already part of an integration content provider for CYPHER Learning or Matrix as well. So basically, since it's fresh from the oven, the Help Center is still configuring the way how you're going to configure it. So do check it out. But it's good to know that there is a new content provider that you can actually utilize as part of your other catalogs that you can choose from, which is Coursera. Okay. All right, let me just go back to home. So by the way, some of our just a note. So some of our apps in the App Center, you should have your own like account for you to be able, or a business account for you to be able to integrate them within the platform. And if you want to know more about the certificate, by the way, because we are pressed for time in terms of how to create your own certificate, it's always good to go to our Help Center and then just search certificate. And then you can see informations like the overview, the printable certificate. If you want to know how to create your own printable certificate, it's there. And the steps that I have given you is also here, as you can see, very detailed with screenshots. It's easy to follow as well. So if you're interested in like utilizing the certificate starting from now, then you can just visit the Help Center and check it out. Okay. All right. So moving on, for our next update that I will show you, this one is very beneficial as well, not just for administrator, but for instructors and trainers and perhaps content creator as well, because we have simplified the way that you have the way that you create courses and the way that you configure courses as well. So how it's done is before, when you click on add, there is a pop-up screen that will ask you for a lot of details and information and other parameters before you can create it. So we've simplified it. So right now, only the most important parameters will be there. So let me just click on course. So the pop-up is there, but now just the basic ones that you need in creating your course holder is there, the name, the style. So say, for example, blended. Now, if you're utilizing organization, it will be here as well. You can select which organization you want this particular course to be part of. Same for group as well. So the group is also using a simplified version of creating a group and configuring a group. So let's start. I'll just test course, create a test course. And after this, you'll see that the way that you configure the course is different again, and we have added a configure tab on it. So let me show you by clicking on save. All right, you can see right away the changes, right? Because we now have the configure tab. So before, if you can remember, it goes directly to the modules, and then it gives you a guideline on how to create the modules. It's still the same, but this time I like it because it gives you an opportunity to check what are the available features and functionalities that you can actually use within your course before you even start putting up all those contents in. So it has this guideline. So what can you see when you go to basics? So basics are just for name, descriptions, and other styles and settings. And now features, if you can recall, features has been renamed. This is called tabs before. So I'll just click on features. So tabs before, but now it's I think it's just right to name it to features, because these are actually features that you can enable or disable depending on the preferences that you have for your course or your e-class. Okay, so now it's called features. And aside from that, this start page tabs, before it's on the basics, but now it's part of the features tab or the tabs before. So you can enable and disable those particular features that you would like to utilize in your course configuration. So going back to configure, I also like the fact that it gives you like a guideline on check the other various tabs for miscellaneous settings. So before, because sometimes when the last time that we have like just a module, sometimes we are too busy creating all those content and we forgot that there are other good features that might be useful in terms of designing the structure of our course. So now it will direct you to clicking on some of these important tabs that might be of use to what you are trying to achieve within your course. So that's one thing that we have added. And also going back to the basics tab, we have also made it in categories. So before, like the style, the axis, and the settings are all in one category. It looks a little bit crowded, even if you, let's just say you're just going to add access code or you're just going to change the style, you have to go through all those lists. So now it's much more tailored fit to the category that you're looking for. So that's one of the changes as well. All right, so if you do have time, you can explore this particular new feature at a later time. All right, so we're not going to move on to the courses, because one thing that I would like to mention, I think we have to go to one other update that we currently have. Those of you utilizing parent and child courses, this one is going to be helpful as well. And it's going to come in handy. So I have created here. So I'll just go to this parent course. All right, going to the parent course, you see the sections in here. So we have added last sync at, which is really cool, because now you know when was the last time did I synchronize this particular child course or this particular child course, especially if you're an instructor who's teaching several sections. So it's easier to manage and it's easier to see which one has been synchronized and which one isn't. So you can see as well the date and the time when it was synchronized, and then you can see directly which one is not yet synchronized. And just a quick note, if for those of you, in case you've missed, the section in here is now the section pop-up that you can see is now only visible to parent courses. So before, it's also visible to the child courses, but now we have removed it. So the way that we do it now is just the parent courses would have this particular section, because there are instances or incident that instructors would accidentally update a child course thinking it is the parent course and then synchronizing it, something like that. So just to be on the safe side, we have created the section only on the parent course, but the child course will still have a connection to the parent course. So let me just go to one child course in here, because we have added a link to the parent course under the admin. So when they go, this is a child course, right? So when I go to the admin of the child course, you'll see this particular link that links you back to your parent course. So you're still not going to get lost in terms of navigating which is the parent course for this particular child course. And also take note that on the course pop-up, it will still show you the connection between the parent and the child course. So the relationship is still there. It's not broken. So it's still there. It's just that this section is now only visible in the parent course. So this update is actually not Q2. I'm just giving you a refresher just in case you've missed it. It's actually last December of last year. All right. So those are some of the things that has been updated in terms of course management and configuration, but we have to move on for the instructor's perspective. And this particular next update, I think, will be very handy for you as well. So what we're going to show you now is from the assessments, we usually go and score our learners, right? Using that particular drop down. So let me just go to grade. So one of the update that we have is we have tweaked a little bit our drop down. It's still there. The drop down is still there. You can still browse over all the learners that you have. But sometimes if you have a really big class, you have lots and lots of learners, like over 20 learners. It's really hard to just scroll over there and look for a particular learner. So we tweaked the drop down and made it that you can type and auto-complete it as to which or what particular name or last name you're looking for. So say, for example, I just want to type LEA and automatically completes those learners that has that initials or letters in their name. So this is quite handy if you want to jump from one learner to another whenever you're grading your assessment. So that's one of the updates under the assessments. So I think it's really very helpful, especially for large classes or large courses that has a lot of enrollees on it. So it's really something that you can utilize. It's even if you only have like 20 classes, sometimes it's really hard to just scroll over and look for a particular learner, right? So now just type in the name, it will automatically bring you to that particular person. Okay, so quite a treat for our instructors there that that has a large classes or managing a bigger class in terms of the courses or grading their assessments as well. All right, so speaking of assessments, there's one more thing that I think this one will be, I think a lot of our instructors or trainers will be happy about it, going back to assessments. And this is one of the things that I like as well, because now, because I remember we do have a client looking for this particular feature. So I think her wish has been granted. I don't know if she's watching right now. So I'll go to the grade, and as you can see from the column, we now have their grader info. So this is an additional column wherein if in case that in one particular course, it's not just one who's managing, or not only one instructor is managing that particular course. Now you can see who graded who. So here we have here the grader means who graded this particular learner and when. So it has there the name of the person who graded and also when was it graded. So it's very useful in a shared course, right? Because say, for example, some of the learners will have like a follow-up question on that particular assessment, and they have a question about why the grade is like that or why they are marked that way. It's easy to track down, oh, I think I have to refer you to this particular instructor, and you can talk to this instructor because they are the one who graded this particular assessment. So very useful, very handy as well for shared courses or for those of you who have co-teachers or teaching assistant. And by the way, if you don't like the term, or if not really, if you don't like, if you're not using the term grader, you can change the terminology in our terminology in the portal just to match it with the terminology that your business or your organization is using. But just to give you an info of what is the grader, it means who graded or who marked or who scored that particular assessment. So thumbs up to that, right? It's really quite cool if you agree with me. Okay, so those are an additional one. Now going back, so I'll just go back to home because I need to go to an instructor or a blended type of course. And this is the one. Why? Because we have added just an automation, a little bit of automation has been added in one of the sections in here in an instructor-led or blended only. Okay, instructor-led or blended. Hold on, let me just go back here. What happened? Let me just refresh that. So instructor-led or blended, when I go to admin, so from the schedule, we have added an additional automation, and that is unpublished course. So I know it's really important, but for now it's just available for schedule. Maybe in the next coming updates, it will be available for all. But for now, say for example, this particular course finishes, it's on a particular semester or a date. You can set it like 1 day after this course has been finished, click save. We have added another automation action for it. So before you only have lock and lock course, lock and unlock course, and this one. So what we've added is the unpublished course. Now, after the course is finished, you can set it to automatically be unpublished so that it can't be seen by the learner's perspective. So that's one of the update that has been added. As of the moment, it's only for the schedule, and it's only for instructor and blended type of courses. Okay, so that's one of the addition that we currently have. All right, so let me just all right, I can see some of the questions. We will answer that at a later time. I think we're almost finished. So far, we have to go to I think this is one of my top favorite. So this is the last part of the product update and also my favorite. So I've saved the best for last. Oh, should I say? Okay. So I'll go to the accounting subject again. So what I will show you is 2 types of survey questions has been added. So say, for example, I wanted to create a survey type of question. Now we have added 2 types of questions, and that is scale and matrix, right? Cool. Test survey. So I'll just create a test survey. Sometimes it's easier to show it than to explain it. So let me show it to you. Test survey. All right, say for example, I want it for this particular module, okay? I'll click on save. Okay, now I will add questions for the survey. And this is where it gets really cool because now you have the scale and the matrix. Now you don't have to go through like MS Forms to create it. You have the scale and the matrix. So I'll create a scale type of question, then later we'll create the matrix type of questions. So the scale type of question is really common. We know that when we are like rating a movie that we watch, something like that. So let me just type sample question. How this module. So say, for example, this is the question. So you have to choose either scale by number or star. I really like star, but let me just show you what the number is for. So you have to set the value 1 being the lowest or 10 being the highest, something like that. But for this, I want a scale of stars. So I will select scale of stars. Then I'll click on save and return to question bank. And then I will add another type of question. You can add a lot of scale type of question, or you can add just all matrix type of question. But for this demo, I'll show you both so that you'll see what it looks like. So I'll click on matrix. All right, and then let's see. So for the matrix, for those of you who are not aware, for matrix question, usually it has row and it has column. So the rows are the statements that you would like the respondent to answer, and then the columns are your predefined answer for the particular or a particular scale of answer that you wanted them to choose from. So let's see how. Okay, so now I'll select 3 rows of statement. Maybe how satisfied are you with this module in terms of content, in terms of engagement, and in terms of the assessment that has been given. And then I will select the column, maybe 5. And then this is how you would like them to measure the statement that you have mentioned. So excellent. And then they're very satisfied, somewhat satisfied, maybe fair, and needs improvement. Okay. Then I'll just, if you want it to be a required question or no, just click on save and return to question bank. All right, I think I didn't, let me just edit this question first. I think it's just F. Edit. Yeah, I just put F. It's like, it's not fair. Okay. All right, now I have 3 statements that I wanted to be measured, and then the columns are the scale of measurement or the ranking. So I'll just click and save, and let's see what it looks like. So going back in here, let's see what it looks like. So I'll go to assessment. So for you to see what it looks like, you have to take the survey. Oh, yeah, I forgot to select, I only selected 2 stars, but you can select more, at least 5 or 10 stars. Then I'll just click continue. And this is how the matrix looks like, as you can see, very familiar. You can select a check button. I've selected the option for radio button. That's why it's like this. So because I'm the one who created it, I'll put excellent on all of it. All right. Okay, then finish. So basically that is how the 2 questions would look like if you add it. You can also use it on the site-wide survey. So aside from this particular, if there are admins here and you wanted to utilize it as a site-wide survey, it's also available in the site-wide survey as part of the question. So those are the 2 questions that has been added in terms of the survey assessment question. Okay, all right. All right, that's it for Q2 product update. So I hope it's really very helpful to you. Now we can wait for you guys. If you do have any question and answer, it's now the time for us to address those question and answer, right? Okay, PP, are you there?
Yes, and actually
What
we
can you
already
say?
have some
Oh,
questions since the beginning, but I keep that in my notes so we can have
thank you.
time to, okay.
I'm just
So
very excited to share everything. So I forgot to look from time to time to our Q&A box. And thank you so much that PP is here with us. Okay. All
yeah.
right. What are the questions so far?
Yeah, first we already have questions from Sonny. She actually asked 3 questions. Maybe we can just show her first how the new dashboard looks like, you know, from the first quarter of, you can just go to the dashboard and
Okay.
yeah, so she can take a look and she can check also on her metrics side if it's already looking like this with the welcome widget and also the courses widget. If it's already like that, then this your metrics is already in the new dashboard design. And
Yes, that's
then
right.
there's also a question from her. Can we use a different URL for each organization?
Sorry. Yes, we can use a different URL for each organization, but you have to go to the App Center to install that one. But I think it's installed here on my matrix sample.
Yes.
So basically you can just add your own portal URL. Okay. So hold on. There, it says in here, custom portal is disabled. You can enable it so that you'd have your own look and feel of the organization. As you can see, you can create your own so that, for example, this particular organization is partitioned. They can log into their own URL, not using the main portal URL, but at the same time, they're still in the same umbrella
Yes.
of your matrix. So that's possible.
Yeah. And then the third question will be, what is the integration with Coursera do? So basically it will be the same between Coursera, LinkedIn Learning, Go One, and also Udemy. Do you want to address that, MJ? What kind of, yeah.
Well, actually it's if you do have like a business account with them, you can actually enable, let me just go to our App Center. You can enable them as part of your content provider, aside from the catalog that you currently have. So I don't have an account right now. I will not click on Coursera because the configuration is not yet set, but I'll show you. So Coursera. So it can be done now, but the help center is still being configured for it. But what will happen is once you click on, let me just go to the other portal instead. See this LinkedIn Learning has already been installed. So what will happen is when you go to App Center, you install it. Once it's already there, see this gear icon that I've mentioned earlier. When you click on it, you'd have to configure some of the details in here as well. So this one is already configured. So you have the catalog provider. It's not yet configured because I don't have the details because I don't have the business account for LinkedIn Learning. So basically, I think the LMS administrator together with the organization or the businesses should be the one to actually have this. But as an instructor or just as a learner, their own like LinkedIn Learning cannot be configured in this portal. It has to be like a business type of LinkedIn Learning account, right, PP? Correct me if I'm
Yes,
wrong.
exactly.
Because you need this client ID and client secret. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, that's a cool question.
Yeah. We
All
also
right.
have another question actually in the quick Q&A box.
Okay, let
It,
me see.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's can the survey be accessible from the home page? Let's say a general survey that is not linked to a course.
Yes, yes, you
I
can
think it's
use, yeah, you can use the site-wide survey, but I think this one has to be configured by your LMS administrator. So let me show you. There is a history already of like a sample site-wide survey that has been created here. Then you have the result as well will be here. So the question is, rate how you feel about your workplace performance in this area, work commitments, teamworks, and work conducts. And then let me just create one so that you'll see. But this is usually for administrator. So you go to the site-wide survey. First, I forgot to tell you, you have to install it from the App Center.
the
That's the
absent.
number one step. Yeah. If it's not visible on the left navigation, that means you have to enable it by installing it from the App Center. And then you can create your survey question in here. So once it's already created, you select if it's anonymous or not. Then when you give it, there's an opportunity for you to give it only to account type all the learners or just all the teachers or even a particular a particular course as well. If you know the course name, you can actually add them and give them as a site-wide survey. Okay. I do hope I've addressed that. But it also it has step-by-step instructions in our help center as well, because I know we're pressed for time, but if you want to know more about site-wide survey configuration as an administrator, you can always go to our help center. Also, if you have very, very brilliant idea of how to make our platform much more seamless than it is right now. I know it's seamless. I'm proud of it. It's seamless right now. But if you want it to be much more seamless, you can always give your brilliant suggestion if it's something that you feel not only your organization or business will be benefiting from, then you can pop that quest or that suggestion in here in our help center. And most of our product updates actually come from our clients' suggestions and feedback. So that's really cool, right? Amazing. Because you're important to us and your feedback is important as well,
Yes.
right? Okay. Do we have any other question, PP?
Yes, actually, Sonny have continue from her previous question. This is about the Coursera or LinkedIn Learning integration. Does that mean that the catalog is here in the matrix, but learner do not have to log in matrix?
Well, I think, yeah, it will be part of the catalog.
But yeah,
But you
we
still, it's
still
still
need,
within
yeah.
the, yeah, it still need to be on the Matrix platform. So what will happen is because PP and I, we don't have the LinkedIn Learning. You see this course catalog, right? There will be an additional tab in here that says LinkedIn Learning, and it will show you a bunch of content from LinkedIn Learning once your business or your organization decided to add that as part of your courses content provider as well. So you still have to see it directly from Matrix. So it's just
Yes.
like sharing resources from LinkedIn Learning up directly to the Matrix, because you also have some courses you're taking in from Matrix. So it's just like taking two courses in one platform.
Yep. Exactly. We
All
we
right.
have the few actually, and we have one more question in the Q&A box. I think we still got time, right? MJ, 6 more minutes to go.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, this is from John T. Is it possible to do batch update on quiz options? For example, I would like to turn off allow review on all quizzes in multiple courses.
Okay, that's a good question. Batch, do you mean batch update in terms of synchronizing it? Is that how is it?
I think it's about, multiple a bulk update for the quizzes.
Let me check his question.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can turn off allow review. Now for batch update on quiz option, which option is it? Make the same changes in multiple places.
Yes,
Yeah, but
bulk update.
I haven't tried that before, but that's a good question. So do you have you tried the batch update first? I know it can be done if you are using like a QTI format, but updating it, the entire quizzes in batch, we'll have to take a look at that one as well. You have any idea, PP, for that?
Yeah, from what I know, but like what MJ said, we need to take a look on that configuration. But from what I know, we don't have that
Feature right now.
features yet. Yes, we need to change the configuration for each quizzes one by one.
One by one.
Yes, that's for yeah. Currently, there's.
Yeah. Thanks for that question, John T. Yeah, I saw it now from the Q&A. There's a lot of thing going on my screen. I didn't see the Q&A box.
That's okay.
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 All right.
I think there's no more the welcome page. Oh, we still have question from Sunny. Miss Sunny, the welcome
widget. If we change in admin, it will reflect change. Yes. Well, actually, I forgot to mention. So that's why PP and I are actually asking you to watch the quarter one. It's really informative. So basically, whatever you change on the dashboard as an administrator will reflect on the users as well, like for the learners and the instructors, because the only one who can actually customize the dashboard is the LMS administrator as of now. So because that's how the way it is as of the moment. So if it's changed by the LMS administrator, if they remove this welcome banner, then it will not show up in the dashboard of the learners or the instructors. Okay.
Yeah. And if I may add to that, we also have the filter.
Yes.
Features in the welcome widget, so you can like choose which users type will actually see this kind of dashboards that you configure.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Because if say, for example, you only want the welcome banner to be visible to just the students or to just the instructors, you can do that as well. Yeah, that's a great addition. So that one has been, this particular dashboard is actually released mid of last year, but we have implemented it to all types of businesses and dashboard, or all types of portal last January of this year. So you might see this one is quite familiar to you now, especially all those widgets, very colorful widgets that we have. So when you watch Vanessa Douthard, one of our colleagues, she really did a great job of explaining everything, and you can visit our YouTube channel, like and subscribe as well. You can browse a lot of topics in there. So do check it out if you want to learn more about the quarter one, in case you've missed it. Quarter one updates is full packed as well. You'll really like it. Okay.
Yeah. I think we have one last question. This will be our one last question because we only have 2 minutes left, I think. This is from CARM. What configuration should we do to capture the completion of employees in LinkedIn Learning back to metrics? Okay, for I think for this one, we need to see your completion configuration also in your courses. And we would like to encourage you also to contact our ACE team for consultation about this, because I think I saw the questions, a similar question before in the Q&A box, and we will try to figure out what's happening. So if you can contact our ACE team, that will be great also.
That's right. Okay, thank you so much for all those questions. Now we know that you are listening to us. Thank you. That was really great. And it's really nice to have you all here. PP, anything to add?
No, I'm just excited to hear. No more from me. Just excited to hear feedback later from. I saw some of my clients' name here, and when
Really?
they
That's
try
great.
out the new enhancement or the new features, it will be great to hear from them if they actually like it and how they can use it.
That's right. Thank you so much again, everybody, for joining us for this product update. More to come because, of course, our clients are important. So one of our mission and vision as well is innovating. So we're always changing or tweaking and updating for the benefit of our clients. So we'll see you again in our next product update, right, PP? Thank you so much
Yes.
for joining us.
Thank you so much.
All right. See you, everyone.